Houston, 2002. A man is wheeled into an operating room with a knee that has hurt for years. The surgeon, Bruce Mosley, scrubs in. He makes 3 small cuts across the knee, exactly where the incisions for a real operation would go. Then he asks for a scalpel he won't use. He splashes some salt water around so it sounds like a procedure's happening. And then he does nothing. He stitches the 3 cuts closed and sends the man to recovery. No damaged cartilage was cleaned out. No joint was repaired. Nothing inside that knee was touched. 2 years later, that man's knee felt just as good as the knees of the patients who got the full, real surgery. He walked better, he hurt less, and he had no idea he'd been part of one of the most unsettling experiments in modern medicine. This wasn't a rogue doctor. It was a careful study, published in the New England Journal of Medicine, one of the most respected medical journals on Earth. Mosley took 180 people with arthritic knees and split them into 3 groups. 2 groups got the real arthroscopic surgery. The 3rd group got the show, the cuts, the sounds, the salt water, and nothing else. At the end, all 3 groups improved about the same amount. The fake surgery worked as well as the real one. So here's the question that should bother you. How does an operation that fixes nothing heal a knee that actually hurts? Because this isn't someone imagining they feel better. These were real people with real arthritis who walked further and reported less pain, measured for 2 years. Something physical happened, and nothing physical was done. And here's why this is worth the next 10 minutes of your life. By the end, you'll walk out with 3 things. You'll know why the theater of medicine works on your body, even when the medicine doesn't. You'll know how the exact same force gets flipped around and quietly used against you, probably as recently as this week. And you'll know how to open the pharmacy your own brain is running, on purpose. The word for what happened in Houston is placebo, and almost everything you think that word means is wrong. Most people hear placebo and think fake. It's the sugar pill they give you in a drug trial. It's the nothing. It's the trick you fall for if you're a little gullible or a little weak. So people assume the placebo effect is basically self-delusion. You talk yourself into feeling better, but nothing is really going on. That is not what the research shows, at all. Start with the most obvious clue, hiding in Mosley's own study. A sugar pill is a weak placebo. A fake surgery is a monstrously powerful one. Same principle, a treatment that does nothing, but the surgery moves the needle far harder. And once researchers noticed that, a strange pattern came into focus. The bigger the show, the bigger the effect. 2 fake pills work better than 1. A fake pill in a fancy branded box works better than the same pill in a plain one. A fake injection with a needle beats a fake pill you swallow. And a fake surgery, the gown, the room, the anesthetic, the cutting, the scar you can actually see afterward, sits near the top of the scale. Your body, it turns out, is reading the entire ritual. The drama is the dose. This isn't a hunch, either. In 2006, a Harvard researcher named Ted Kapchuk ran 2 fake treatments head-to-head. One group got a placebo pill for their arm pain. The other group got fake acupuncture, a special trick needle that retracts into its own handle and never actually pierces the skin, so it feels like a real treatment while doing absolutely nothing. Both were pure placebo. Both contained no medicine and delivered no therapy. But the elaborate one, the needle, the ritual, the specialist leaning in, beat the humble sugar pill. Same nothing, delivered with more theater, and the body responded more. The dose really is the drama. And this is not a new discovery that medicine stumbled into recently. Medicine has been quietly living with it for over 60 years, and once, it went to war with its own operating rooms over it. Go back to the late 1950s. Doctors had a popular surgery for chest pain, for angina, the crushing ache you get when your heart isn't getting enough blood. The idea was to tie off a certain artery in the chest wall and reroute blood toward the heart. Patients loved it. Most said their pain dropped dramatically. Surgeons were thrilled. But a couple of doctors, Leonard Cobb among them, had a nagging doubt. So they ran a test that would be almost impossible to get approved today. On some patients, they did the full operation. On others, they just cut the skin open on the chest and sewed it right back up. No artery touched. Fake surgery. Both groups got better. The patients who got nothing but a scar improved just as much as the ones who got the real thing. The surgery that had made thousands of people feel better wasn't working the way anyone thought. The belief was doing the healing. Within a few years, that operation quietly disappeared. So that's 2 fake surgeries, 40 years apart, both healing real people. The man in Houston wasn't a fluke, he was a pattern. But a pattern isn't an answer, and this is where it starts to matter for you. Okay, but maybe that's just people reporting they feel better to please the doctor. Maybe it's polite lying or fuzzy memory. If the placebo effect were real biology, you'd have to be able to see it happening inside the body. You'd have to catch the brain actually changing its own chemistry on command. So they did. In 2001, a team of researchers in Canada, led by Raúl de la Fuente Fernández, worked with patients who had Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's is, at its core, a shortage of one specific brain chemical, dopamine. That shortage is why the movements get slow and stiff. The real drugs for it work by topping dopamine back up. The researchers gave some patients a placebo, an injection they were told might be their medicine, but which was completely inert. Then they scanned the patient's brains, and they watched those brains release a flood of their own dopamine, real dopamine, the exact chemical the disease was missing, not because a drug delivered it, because the patient expected relief and the brain manufactured the drug itself. Let that sink in. The placebo didn't trick them into feeling better. It reached into the brain and released the precise substance a neurological disease had been starving them of. The same thing shows up with pain. When you take a placebo painkiller and your pain drops, your brain is releasing its own natural opioids, endorphins, your built-in morphine. And here's how they proved it. Back in 1978, researchers gave people a placebo for pain, and it worked. Then they gave those same people a second drug, naloxone, which is the drug that blocks opioids and shuts down their effects. And when they blocked the opioids, the placebo stopped working. The pain came back. Think about what that means. If a placebo were just imagination, blocking a brain chemical couldn't switch it off. But it did, because the relief was never imaginary. Your expectation opened your own internal pharmacy, and the lock zone slammed the door. So the placebo effect isn't the absence of medicine. It's a medicine your body already makes, and expectation is the prescription.
Which sets up the strangest twist in this whole story, because if the effect depends on expectation, it should collapse the second you find out it's fake, right? The magic should only work while you're fooled. Except it doesn't. In 2010, that same researcher, Ted Kapchuk, tried something that sounds like it can't possibly work. He gathered patients with irritable bowel syndrome, a real, miserable, chronic gut condition, and he handed them a bottle of pills, and he told them the truth. He said out loud, "These are placebo pills. They are made of an inert substance, like a sugar pill. They contain no medicine. Take 2 a day." He didn't trick them. He told them to their faces that they were about to take nothing. And they got better anyway, measurably, significantly more than the patients who got no pills at all. Knowing it was a placebo, knowing there was nothing in the bottle, did not switch off the effect. The ritual of taking the pill, twice a day, in the context of care, still moved something real in their bodies. That is the finding that breaks the last piece of the old story. You don't have to be fooled. You don't have to be gullible. The effect isn't a con you fall for, it's a response your body is built to have.
Which brings you to the second thing you were promised, because this power runs both directions, and the other direction is pointed at you far more often than you'd guess. It has a name most people have never heard: Nocebo. If expectation of healing can make you better, expectation of harm can make you worse. Researchers have watched this too. Tell a patient a harmless injection will sting badly, and they feel more pain. In careful lab studies, an Italian scientist named Fabrizio Benedetti showed you can take a person in mild discomfort, tell them it's about to get worse, and watch their body ramp up real pain signaling to meet the warning. A chain of stress chemistry firing off on nothing but the words. And it happens in the wild constantly. Warn people loudly about a drug's side effects, and more of them get those exact side effects, even when they were secretly handed a sugar pill. There are documented cases of patients in the nothing group of a trial getting so convinced they'd been poisoned that they turned up at the hospital with real, measurable symptoms from pills that contained nothing at all. The body listens to the story you tell it, and it does not check whether the story is good news or bad. A doctor's careless, "this is really going to hurt," can be its own small dose of poison. And that's the real lesson underneath all of it. Your expectation isn't a feeling floating on top of your body, it's an input. Your brain runs a constant prediction of what's coming next, and your body starts adjusting to match that prediction before anything actually happens. The ritual, the attention, the confidence of the person treating you, all of it is data, and the prediction has chemistry behind it. So when you look back at that man in Houston with the fake knee surgery, the mystery mostly dissolves. He walked into a room full of every signal his brain reads as, "You are being healed." The gown, the anesthetic, the surgeon he trusted, the cuts, the scar. His brain ran the prediction, this fixed him, and his body started paying out relief to match it. The knee was never really the point. The expectation was the treatment. Here's what this does not mean. It does not mean your pain is fake, or that arthritis is imaginary, or that you can wish a broken bone straight. Placebos don't shrink tumors or regrow cartilage. What they change is real but bounded. Mostly the symptoms your brain has a hand in producing: pain, nausea, fatigue, the misery of a condition rather than always the condition itself. But here's what it does mean, and it's the third thing you came for, the part you can actually use tomorrow. A real piece of your medicine cabinet is inside you, and it doesn't open on command. It opens in response to how care is delivered. So 3 moves. 1, when you choose a doctor, the one who actually listens isn't a luxury. The listening is part of the medicine. The studies say so, literally. 2, if a harmless ritual helps you, the tea before bed, the routine, the thing you do that shouldn't work, keep it and skip the shame. Your body doesn't care that it shouldn't work. It's responding to the ritual, and the response is real chemistry. 3, guard your inputs. When someone starts confidently listing everything that's about to go wrong with your body, a comment section, a worried relative, a headline engineered to scare you, remember that your nervous system is taking notes and filling prescriptions. You're allowed to walk away. That's not denial. That's dosage control. The people in these studies weren't weak, and they weren't fooled. Their bodies did something genuinely astonishing. They healed themselves a little, on the strength of expectation, and left the scientists scrambling to explain how. So the next time a sugar pill, or a kind word, or a ritual you don't quite believe in seems to help more than it has any right to, don't roll your eyes. That's not you being gullible. That's the pharmacy you were born with, quietly filling a prescription, and it was always yours.